Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
We begin tonight in Chemung County, where one town is debating its COVID policies within schools. The superintendent of Horsehead Schools is proposing a new way of monitoring students who are exposed to the virus. Big Fox's Matt Kleindienst spoke with the district and with county health officials.
Good evening, Ann. COVID data is closely being looked at by school administrators and local and state health officials to examine the quarantine procedures for students.
The good part is they said, yes, we need to have some discussion about this.
Dr. Thomas Douglas is one of several school superintendents asking the state to look at its current quarantine rules for students. Under current New York guidelines, unvaccinated students who are directly exposed to COVID have to quarantine for 10 days. In the Horsehead School District, this has resulted in hundreds of kids missing class.
513 student directs. Those students lost on average about 10 days of school, 5,130 school days. That's a lot of lost instruction time.
However, according to Pete Buzzetti of the Chemung County Health Department, not many of the direct contacts are being infected.
We don't see a lot of instances where those on quarantine become sick with COVID.
As a result, district administrators in Chemung County have briefly discussed with health officials about updating the state's COVID protocols.
What we discussed is this thought of allowing children that are quarantined due to contact to be allowed to remain into school. This was a discussion only. No decision was made. No official thing has been made, not at our level, not at the state level.
Dr. Douglas is advocating that the state examine the data to help the school get through the issue.
We are trying to follow the science and following the information that we have to hopefully assist the Department of Health in their considerations and options going forward in the future once they review data and make any adjustments or changes.
Pete Buzzetti says the state is currently discussing the issue. Matt Kleindienst, Big Fox, WYDC in Corning.
A Steuben County resident is getting free tickets for a Buffalo Bills game as part of New York's Vax and Win sweepstakes. The incentive program partners with New York's 3 NFL franchises to get New Yorkers vaccinated. Steuben resident Bradley Sick will get tickets to a Bills game, a stadium tour, signed gear, and even a FaceTime call with former Bills players. New York's Vax and Win sweepstakes will have one more drawing after Sunday. Today, Watkins Glen Police issued 19 traffic tickets to drivers. This comes after the police department announced that they would be increasing enforcement of school zones. Most of the tickets were issued for stop sign violations, and most of the drivers were out-of-county residents. Police are reminding drivers to use extra caution while driving in school zones, especially in the morning and evening when kids are going to or coming home from school. Some toy shops in the U.S. are running out of key products. Thanks to the chaos at Chinese ports and the U.S. trucker shortage, some shop owners say they have no idea what's going to arrive on time. Claire Sebastian reports.
Staff at this New York City toy store had no idea they'd be getting this delivery of books and toys today, or that all of the orders would be incomplete.
We're placing orders every day, constantly, as many as we can think of. One of my bigger companies, I ordered a huge order in February, and it just shipped a couple weeks ago. So it's so hard to determine when and if things are going to come.
The enticing displays here mask an unprecedented inventory problem. Many items running out.
I have 3 of these. There's no more downstairs. I have 3 of these. There's no more downstairs.
Others in oversupply.
I've got about 20 times that in my basement.
And behind the scenes,
this is what my very messy office looks like, with shipping out to be done and shipping in to process.
Christina Clark says she was warned by suppliers to stockpile ahead of the holidays. 85% of all toys sold in the US are imported, according to the Toy Association. And right now, the ships that carry them, mostly from Asia, are stuck in a giant maritime traffic jam, the result of surging demand as economies recover and ongoing COVID-related disruptions.
Well, it's not just a shipping crisis affecting the toy supply chain, there's also port congestion piling on and a shortage of truck drivers to get them to their destination.
that combination of online shopping, COVID shutdowns, resupplying things that were out of stock, and the holidays together have all combined into what really is a crisis of shipping and a crisis of consumer products.
And it's sending costs skyrocketing.
The average shipping container has gone from somewhere right around $3,000 to around $24,000 on the spot market.
Christina Clark says many of her suppliers have raised prices twice this year, and some are now tacking on a shipping surcharge, most of which she isn't passing on to her customers.
Financially, how is this affecting you?
Well, I just have a lot of debt. I have a huge amount of debt and hope that it will be covered.
Her message to customers: start your holiday shopping now. This will not be over by Christmas. Claire Sebastian, CNN, New York.
Former President Donald Trump facing another probe into his finances. New York's Westchester County District Attorney's Office says it's investigating the Trump Organization. The probe is to determine if the company misled a town regarding the property value of its golf course for tax purposes. People familiar with the issue say property tax records from the town of Ossining were subpoenaed. A town official says the residents and businesses are interested in reaching a settlement. This investigation has been underway for months, but so far no charges have been filed. The Trump Organization and its chief financial officer are already under indictment, facing several charges, including taking part to a scheme to defraud and falsifying business records. Trump CFO Alan Weisselberg and the organization have pleaded not guilty. Municipal workers in New York City are on the clock. All city employees will need to get a COVID-19 vaccine before the end of the month. So far, 71% of the employees affected by this mandate have received at least one dose. Joe Torres reports.
Good morning, everybody.
The mayor previously hinted and suggested it was coming, and today it arrived. A vaccine mandate for all city agencies and all city workers, and that includes police officers, firefighters, and EMTs.
My job as your mayor is to keep this city safe, keep this city healthy. And vaccination is the way. We've proven it time and time again. It works. We have to keep going farther.
The mayor's directive applies to more than 160,000 city workers. Roughly 46,000 are not vaccinated. They now have until 5 p.m. on October 29th to get their first dose. Unvaccinated workers that don't meet the deadline will be placed on unpaid leave until they provide proof of vaccination.
We certainly expect pushback. The unions have stated there would be some pushback. I think our members have taken an oath of office to serve the public. They've bravely done that for 156 years. They've done it through the pandemic, and I think they'll step up and do it now.
To help convince those unvaccinated workers to roll up their sleeve, the city will provide a $500 incentive for those who get their first shot at a city-run vaccination site. Incentive or not, there is steadfast opposition to the mandate from one of the more powerful municipal unions. In a statement issued late this morning, the head of the Police Benevolent Association wrote, "Now that the city has moved to unilaterally impose a mandate, we will proceed with legal action to protect our members' rights."
A heartwarming moment at a New York elementary school Wednesday. A 5-year-old boy reunited with his father after being separated for months. Jerry Thorne, an Air Force flight medic, was deployed to Kuwait for 5 months. The boy's kindergarten teacher helped set up the surprise meeting. She says the reunion has opened up new teaching points. Children wanted to know why the boy's father was a soldier. The happy family shared some pizza and wings before heading home. Contention and contempt on Capitol Hill. The Attorney General faces tough questioning, and a former Trump administration official could face prison time for failing to comply with a congressional investigation. Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington.
The resolution is adopted.
The House voting whether or not to hold longtime ally of former President Trump, Steve Bannon, in contempt of Congress. He failed to comply with a congressional subpoena.
Refusing a subpoena is an obstructing justice.
A committee is looking into the January 6th attack on the Capitol and wants what Bannon knew.
We believe Mr. Bannon has information valuable to our probe.
He must have been aware of and may well have been involved in the planning of everything that played out on that day.
Why is the Select Committee interested in Steve Bannon? It's simple. He is a Democrat Party boogeyman.
Republicans who are largely not participating in the committee accuse Democrats of politicizing January 6th, not investigating it.
House Democrats are continuing their witch hunt into President Trump, yet again embarking on another investigation in search of a crime.
Bannon's case also brought up in a House hearing with Attorney General Merrick Garland, since the House would refer the case to the Justice Department. Garland, though, staying vague on how his department will handle it.
The Department of Justice will do what it always does in such circumstances. It will apply the facts and the law and make a decision consistent with the principles of prosecution.
With contempt, the Justice Department will decide whether or not to prosecute. Democrats hope they will, since it will set precedent for those who defy Congress. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Reports suggest flu cases are already trending higher than last year. According to Walgreens, flu medicine sales are 23% higher this year than in 2020, suggesting that flu cases have also increased. This data comes after the nation reported historically low flu rates last year, with experts pointing towards masks, social distancing, and a record number of vaccinations for the decrease. Health officials strongly urge Americans to get their flu shot before the end of the month, warning the sickness could be more prevalent this year as the country loosens COVID restrictions. Even though Thanksgiving is about a month away, turkeys are already flying off the shelves. Grocery stores nationwide are already reporting shortages for turkeys, with still a ways to go before the holiday. Industry reports from August hinted at scarcity for smaller fresh birds, but now there seems to be shortages of frozen turkeys as well. Experts say the industry has been struggling for years, and the pandemic made their production problems even worse. Grocery store owners also say people have been rushing to put orders in for their turkeys now. Still ahead tonight, Adam Bowles will join us with your forecast and a whale of a tale, how one group's fishing trip turned into a memory that will last a lifetime.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Hello everybody, it's Adam Bowles with your weather, brought to you in part by William Mattar. Kim has a night off for this evening, but once again, we are much cooler than this time yesterday. Also, I am tracking scattered showers and also non-severe thunderstorms as it moves through the area as we speak for tonight and also for early tomorrow morning as well, but the showers should be leaving our area as we head into tomorrow too for your Friday. But here's the weather headlines for tonight. Showers around for late tonight into early tomorrow morning, then diminishing. Cooler Friday and also looking pretty cloudy too as we head into this weekend. This weekend is looking drier, a cool start for this weekend, then gradually getting warmer as we head into next week. Here's what's happening on the forecast map as we head to this weekend for your Friday. Spotty showers and also some non-severe thunderstorms in the green for our area. That cold front is moving through as we speak in that blue. That does increase the moisture content, also knocks down the temperatures a little bit below average back into the 50s as we head to this weekend too. But here's future radar. As you notice, by Friday morning looking pretty wet and then gradually clearing as we head into the early afternoon part for Friday afternoon. Maybe some spotty showers possible as we head to the Friday evening, but most of the bulk of the moisture should be clearing through for late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then gradually getting drier, just cloudy and cool for most of our area as we head into Friday afternoon as well. Here's tonight's low for a recap. Scattered showers and non-severe thunderstorms. Look at that normal low. The normal low is 39 degrees. We are nowhere near that, so definitely above average as that cold front almost swipes through our area. 50, 49 degrees, 50s and upper 40s is the story for tonight. And also for Friday planner, looking mostly dry, maybe a few showers possible, but still we're back to average with that cold front moving through. Normal high is 58. We're still into the mid 50s, even the lower 50s possible as we head to Friday as well for the high. 55 degrees, mostly cloudy and cool, back to average with that cold front moving through. A 20% rain chance, 40s and 30s coming back into the forecast. So Halloween plans, fall plans looking kind of chilly as we head to the nighttime hours. 54 degrees for Saturday. Mostly dry as we head to this weekend, but still into the lower 50s. Gradually getting warmer as we head to Sunday and Monday, and also rain chances coming back for Monday and Tuesday, back into the mid to upper 50s, and then more sunshine by the mid part of next week.
A major health warning on climate change from a new report. Researchers say the climate is set to have a code red impact on human health, and it's expected to get worse. Mandy Gaither has more on the effects for people in today's Health Minute.
As Republicans and Democrats continue to grapple over the climate crisis,
we know the wildfires, hurricanes, that there is a climate crisis.
We have good ideas, and we intend to get a seat at the climate table and be productive with our ideas.
a report published in the Lancet Medical Journal predicts droughts will hurt food production, rising temperatures will encourage the spread of dangerous pathogens like malaria and cholera, and current climate trends indicate a code red for future health. In a 6-month period in 2020, the report says more than 51 million people were impacted by 84 disasters, from floods, droughts, and storms in countries already struggling with COVID-19. It says climate change contributed to more than 1,000 deaths during a record-breaking heat wave in the U.S. Pacific Northwest. The authors writing, the 2021 report of the Lancet Countdown finds a world overwhelmed by an ongoing global health crisis, which has made little progress to protect its population from the simultaneously aggravated health impacts of climate change. In an editorial with the report, authors say succumbing to the climate emergency is not inevitable, but change is necessary. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
For 5 friends fishing off the coast of California, the 180-pound tuna they wrangled was a big catch. But little did they know the release that would happen the next day would be the highlight of the trip. Rena Nakano has video of the whale rescue.
Conditions were perfect last Friday for a weekend out on the water. 5 guys on a fishing boat hoping for a big catch.
The sun was just going down and we hooked a bluefin tuna.
100 miles off the coast of Point Loma, Matt Capron and his buddies won an hour-and-a-half battle against the 180-pounder. This would be the highlight of their trip, or so they thought. But the next morning, they were in for a bigger surprise.
And I said, hey, there's a whale on this patty.
As they came closer, they noticed that the whale was in bad shape.
It couldn't move because it was essentially attached to the bottom of the ocean.
The whale was caught in a lobster trap. That's when Capron jumped in.
The rope was attached to its body right before the fluke, and it was wrapped, 6 or 7 times.
With a fillet knife in hand, Capron dove under, slashing the rope 1 loop at a time.
Get him?
After the second dive and a couple more cuts, Capron finally freed the animal.
Get him, Drake.
Good job, Matty! A few minutes later, the whale came back, as if it forgot to say something.
Do you think he was saying thank you to you when he came back that one time?
I have no idea. I can't read that much into it. We're just so fortunate that we came upon it when we did.
And that's how their tuna fishing trip turned into an unforgettable whale-saving trip.
It was probably one of the highlights of my life, honestly.
Good job. Saved a whale today.
A major change on the horizon for Facebook. The company behind the social media network is about to undergo a corporate refresh. Tech publication The Verge reporting Facebook is planning to rebrand itself with a new name focused on the metaverse. Jen Sullivan has a closer look at what the metaverse is and why some content creators are hesitant about the name switch.
Facebook is reportedly about to give itself a new name, according to The Verge.
It's expected to announce the rebrand next week as the tech giant works to fend off a scandal and mounting criticism from regulators.
Whether positive, negative, or otherwise, the associations with the Facebook app are hard to distinguish from a company that has ambitions to represent much more than that.
And content creators are anxiously awaiting to find out how the possible changes may impact them.
This is not just a small change, this is a huge change.
Business owners like Julie Alma Taveras, who relies on the platform to find clients, are bracing to pivot.
The fact that they are planning on changing and it's becoming a whole different business model altogether is definitely something that I don't think anybody will essentially be prepared for.
Facebook also owns Instagram and WhatsApp. Brand strategist Jake Hancock says the name change could position the three platforms under an umbrella brand, similar to Google's structure, which sits under parent company Alphabet.
For Facebook, that's going beyond social media and getting into the metaverse. I think this is more about broadening expectations of a company than overcoming reputational concerns.
Back in August, Facebook launched a beta version of Horizon Workrooms, a virtual reality workspace for team meetings. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg has said he sees Facebook's future in the virtual reality metaverse, which combines virtual and augmented reality in a new online realm. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
An Alaskan flagger with moves like Jagger. Drivers in the Anchorage area get to view a little fancy footwork as they're directed around construction. Lauren Maxwell reports.
If you've driven the Seward Highway between Anchorage and Girdwood, there's a good chance you've seen him. Patrick Deacon is that energetic flagger.
I never thought anybody would find my dad entertaining.
That people love to watch. There's his classic X stance that brings traffic to a halt, the over-the-shoulder slowdown, and the go-go-go with dramatic hand flourish. They're moves that made his boss wonder the first time she met the novice flagger 2 years ago.
I was kind of shocked.
Until she noticed the effect on the people in line.
Some people were cheering, some people were honking, people put their hand out the window and they were like, woo! Like, everybody was really excited to see him.
By all accounts, Patrick Deacon is a happy man.
I love all the jobs I've ever been in.
An Alaskan who appreciates the beauty around him.
This is your office.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
He also likes working with the public, who for the most part treat him well.
You get a lot of snacks.
Snacks?
Oh yeah.
Candy bars, bottles of water held or tossed out the window, and even this.
Yeah, and here's the front.
A thank you card from someone who says Deacon really made his day when he was down.
It was just a great card. It's really hard to explain and put into words, but it's really awesome.
Pretty soon, the flagging season will wrap up, and Patrick Deacon will be missed.
Some people are like, he's the best flagger ever. He needs an award. Alaska's best flagger, and I couldn't agree more. He really does just make people happy.
Deacon has promised he'll be back at his post next spring.
We want to leave you with a smile tonight. You won't believe what took an unplanned road trip in a minivan in Colorado. Actually, not what, but who. A live great horned owl was discovered lodged under the vehicle's hood. The driver told authorities he collided with the bird north of Denver, then drove 60 miles to Fort Collins before making the shocking discovery. And the owl did not look too happy about it. Amazingly, though, the bird suffered only minor injuries and is now being cared for by the Rocky Mountain Raptor program. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.